Here's a one, two, three-pint review that I did for you.
Hey, welcome to the first episode of 3 Pint Reviews. And I'm not entirely sure yet how this is going to work out. I have sort of a loose idea for it, so fingers crossed. Anyway, basically how this works is I keep a list of all of my records in a spreadsheet. And then I use an online random number generator to generate two numbers. And then I pick those albums out from the list, and those are the ones we're going to listen to today. So the first one will be Brothers of Destruction by the Twigs. And then the second is going to be Big Country, The Crossing. So neither one of these are ones that I've listened to a lot. Anyway, so the plan is I'm going to go to the liquor store and buy 3 beers. And I'm going to try to find something that has some sort of connection to each one of these albums or artists. And what I'll do is have a pint and listen to the first record. And then I will give sort of my feedback on that, my first take. And then I'll have another beer and listen to this record. And then finally, I will go off and think about things, have another beer, and then come back and just give you my final thoughts. So let's see how this goes. Okay, so I'm back from the liquor store, and I managed to track down 3 pints, not all beer, but they seemed, one seemed just too perfectly named, so I had to get it. In any case, so the drink that I will be having with the Twigs is this vodka thing called Sucking Lemons. I don't know who made this. Let's have a look. Product of Canada, Jaw Drop Cooler Company, Vancouver. Not my typical kind of drink, but it'll be interesting. With the Big Country, The Crossing, I'm going to have Big Spruce. And this is actually one of my favorite beers. It's from Cape Breton. And then the drink I will have while I sort of weigh the 2 records is called Hometown Brewing Company's Hazy Susan IPA, because this entire process is still a little hazy to me. So that was the rationale behind that. Now I'm thinking I want to go with something a little familiar to start off with. So I'm going to listen to Big Country first and enjoy the Big Spruce Tiny Tim's Big Spruce Tim's IPA. And so I'm going to go listen to this, have that beer, and then I'll be back to give my thoughts. Okay, so I've had my first pint and listened to the first record, Big Country, The Crossing. Well, the first thing I want to talk about that I sort of noticed when I put the record in was the packaging. It's kind of got a nice design. I think the back is even better than the front. It has this kind of like nice silver embossed stuff. So the packaging is very nice. And the record sleeve, I don't know if you can see this, is a nice texture. And it kind of reminds me of the recent Black Sabbath Sabotage Super Deluxe album that I unboxed in another video. So if you haven't seen that already, check out that video. In any case, yeah, so the packaging is very nice on this. And I noticed the producer, Steve Lillywhite, and he is like just a legend of a producer. And among the many artists he produced XTC, their Drums and Wires album, which is one of my very favorite records. If you haven't heard that already, check it out. So, I guess just general comments about the songs themselves. The first thing I noticed, I'm not going to get into the songs, but the music, broadly speaking. The first thing I noticed, it started off with this drum beat. And it was, it's just very workmanlike. Typically, the music that I prefer to listen to has some swing or funk to it. It would be that, Deep Purple or the Meters or jazz. This is just functional drumming, I guess you could say. Yeah, and there's a bagpipe effect throughout the album, and that can be an acquired taste. So overall, the album, I would say it's, I know this band has a lot of fans, and, they dedicated, to me, I find it, it's the kind of record that you'd put on at the cottage when you had a bunch of people there, and nobody's really listening to it, but it's putting out a vibe in any case. It has that early 80s vibe. It was made in 1983, and that's pleasant. But if you really start to listen to it, there was nothing really grabbed me with it. I found it kind of bland, to be honest, and it kind of dragged on. So I do have to say my opinions and my words may be sort of flavored here by the beer, because an album runs about 40 minutes, and I consumed my entire pint in that time, and I'm a pretty slow drinker. I'll usually stretch a beer over an hour sort of thing. So, So I usually play the long game, and sort of only now I'm becoming, sort of a mature adult, drinking beer and making record videos. Anyway, so next up is the lemon Twigs. I'll go have that Sucking Lemons vodka drink and listen to this record, and I'll sort of report back with my feelings on that. Okay, so just listen to Brothers of Destruction by the Lemon Twigs, and man, that is appeals to my taste much more so than the last album. Anyway, let's take a look at this photo. I love this photo. Looking at the packaging, kind of reminds me of like kind of a late 70s album, like The Jam, one of their albums or something. I really enjoy that. And, just as I said, a 6-song EP, one of which was must have been no more than a minute and a half long. And so, needless to say, it took me longer than the album to complete the can. So this is self-produced. I'm a big fan of the Lemon Twigs, and I have a couple of their other albums, but I just hadn't listened to this one a heck of a lot. Yeah, so I prefer this over the other one because it's got, their music just has a little more finesse, there's a little more pop to it, and a little more whimsy, and their chops. I mean, they're still kids. They've been around since, I think, 2015, 2014. And so this album's from EP's from 2017, and the older one was born in 1997, and the other one was born in 1999. So, geez, one of them would have been 18, 17 at the time. This is done. Yeah. I can't do the math. So in any case, really good record. So I'm going to have to go and have the Hazy Susan beer, and then I'll come back and talk about these two. I don't know if this is a sustainable format. It may have to be 2 pint reviews or something. We'll see how it goes. But I'm going to power through this, and we'll talk to you soon. Okay, so I have had my final pint, and I thought about this a little bit. And first off, I do not think I will do 3 pints again. That's given the time that it takes to listen to a couple of records and then think about it, that's too much beer for that amount of time. To cut to the chase, I feel this is the better record. It's all based on taste, but by far, this is the one I'll be playing more than the other one. Yeah, so after we listened to these records, we put on some YouTube, and recently I had switched to I used to subscribe to Stadia.
And, it's a streaming video game service like Google has. And I didn't, I played some games, but not enough to warrant a subscription. And I watch a lot of YouTube, more so than television. So I canceled the Stadia subscription and subscribed to YouTube Premium, which is pretty good because you get no more of those annoying ads. And in any case, I've been watching some of that, and
yeah, I don't know my point, but in any case, this is a good record. You should check it out, and I hope you enjoyed this 3 pint review.